Middle-earth Throne of Skulls. An absolute, unequivocal celebration of all things Lord of the Rings on the tabletop, from hobby to the spirit of the game to cool scenarios and clashes, and just celebrating the community that Middle-earth strategy battle game has surrounding it. It is one of the best communities I've ever been involved with, and I'm so glad I continue to get to be a part of it even to this day, going forward into the new edition. Now, you guys have obviously been with me during my Road to Throne of Skulls vlog series this year. We've gone through the initial army list ideas, the faction ideas, what's going to be going on the board. I've tried to give you some updates in shorts on TikTok and in other vlog series about how the board is progressing, and I would like to show you exactly how progress is going. We are T-minus 3 days before we depart for the fabled land of Nottingham and that wondrous destination that is Warhammer World, the haven of all nerd hobby. Yes, we are 3 days before we leave now, and my board stands as thus. I mean, it's basically done. Yeah, the board and all the sundries are more or less complete. I have a few finishing details I'm going to be adding on, but I'm going to keep those a little bit secret because I want to have a little bit of a surprise for people at the event. I want to spoil everything before I get up there. But yes, as you can see from this, the board is finished. I'll give you a quick rundown as to how the board was made. The board itself is a large block of polystyrene affixed to a wooden panel. The tower itself is constructed purely out of polystyrene, foamboard, and paper mache. I got the initial skeleton in place for the shape of the tower, done in sections. We did 2 towers, and then we did the central pillar. They were all created, all the spikes and juttings have been made out of foam board, all individually, painstakingly cut individually. Once this was all glued together, it was paper mache'd. Mrs. Mithril took on the bulk of that herself, bless her, because she's a lot more thorough when it comes to that kind of thing. So I think I owe her a shopping trip or something to make up for the few days she spent paper macheing in between all these gaps that I could have left a lot more room between, but I didn't. Oops. Sorry, wife. I wanted to get the paper mache in so it gave it that kind of obsidian-y, stony texture. Otherwise, we're looking at just flat surface foam board, which wouldn't really, because the surface of this foam board is shiny as well, going to struggle to paint that. So by having this texture on there, it then meant that I could go ham with a dry brush when it came to painting. Once this was all paper mache together, we've got a backboard fixed on there and a top board as well. So it's a really sturdy, like freestanding piece of scenery, which is really good, which means I can take it off and use it in actual battle reports as well, which would be awesome. When it came to painting, it's a super simple paint recipe. I literally have just like covered this thing in black paint from the works. £6 for a tub of black paint this big. You know, amazing. Whack that on there, wait for it to dry. It took ages to dry. I don't know if it's just because it's cold in the studio when the heating's not on, but it took ages to dry. And then I went to town with a dry brush. Absolutely went ham with a dry brush. I found when we bought the paint initially, we bought 1 tub of black and 1 tub. Well, I thought we bought 2 tubs of black, but it turns out one was like a really dark green. I don't know if it'd been sitting on the shelf for a while or the hue had changed, or whatever. It's marketed as black, but it was definitely green. But it actually worked out quite well because I went over with a huge dry brush and got a little bit of green in the stone, and then I added white to this and just bashed the ever-loving hell out of this thing with a large with a large brush. Just listen to this bit of ASMR. And does that not just sound like a helicopter flying overhead? That's the dry brush copter. So the board is painted. The scaffolding was quite simply just bits of balsa wood that I've probably stupidly super glued together rather than wood glue or U-hooed because I'm just impatient and couldn't wait for glue to dry. It was a little bit messy, so I've had to go around with the string and kind of make some joins. Which I know I went a little bit overboard with the string, but I think it looks alright. I stained all this with Nuln Oil as well, which ironically gave a really good look to the wood compared to all the brown shades that I was going to use. Tried them all, Agrax, Seraphim, I even tried Mortari and Grime as well. But the Nuln Oil gave the best kind of grey look to the wood, which really fits in well with the obviously the grey tone of the board. Yeah, I've got some smoke coming out of the pits, and there's a little surprise under there, which again I'm not going to ruin just now. You can keep an eye out for that in shorts. I'm not going to ruin everything just now. And the army sits quite proudly at the foot of the Tower of Orthanc. Saruman and Grima in the balcony as well. Now, they are not part of the list. The army itself is on the actual board. Saruman and Grima just in the tower, because you know the scene I'm trying to replicate. The swooping shot back from the Tower of Orthanc with the camera panning back for all those pikes. And I can't not have Saruman and Grima at least present on the board somewhere. And since we didn't go for a full-scale Orthanc, thankfully, they're sitting in the balcony as they were during that scene in the Two Towers. Anyway, so that worked out really well. However, I do have a conundrum. I finished the initial army list about a week ago, as I said. I think I mentioned that in the last vlog video, and I have since maybe evolved, and he's forever going to be blamed for this, Jeb's idea of doing all upright pikemen. I did buy the extra pikemen, I did buy another command set, and I have actually got all the pikemen lists sorted. So I'm in a conundrum now, and I need your help, hobbyists. I need your help to decide what looks best on this board and what army I should commit to for Throne of Skulls. I have both, and I'm going to be taking both with me with army list printed for both, so I can decide effectively on the day. But I want to know your input. You need to help me decide which army looks best. There's going to be a community poll on the community tab with pictures of both, but here they are right now. You see I've got the list here with the ballista, the berserkers, and the crossbowmen. A lot less pikemen, but a little bit more of a kind of universal list. And then we have the super themey, super cool looking, now that I've ranked it all up, upright pikeman list with 4 banners and all the captains dotted around. It looks awesome, I think, but I am really, really torn. I need your help. So I'm going to put a post up, like I say, an image poll up on the community tab. That'll be going up at the same kind of time the video goes live. And I want you to flood it with comments. I want to know if you think it's good, what army is good, what army you think is best for playing, for fun, for that looks the best, that fits the theme best. Whatever reason you've got for me to pick the army that you like, let me know. And then I will probably flip a coin on the day. No, I'm joking. No, I wanna know what you guys think, because I'm really torn. I love the look of these pikes, but also I know that the trying to make just Uruk-hai warriors look good is really hard. So the splash of colour from the berserkers and the ballista, I don't know. I'm torn. I really am torn. So I need you guys to let me know and help me out here, please. This is one I'm once again asking for your help with pikes. But yeah, I'm finished with more or less 3 days left to go. So now I can go and help Jeb with his army. I'm really looking forward to this. I love going up to Throne of Skulls. I'm so excited. You're going to get all the updates as we go across the weekend. I know for a fact we've got Paul and Crispin coming down to join us as well. It's awesome. We have a great variety of armies that I know just from my little group going. Obviously, I've got Isengard. Wayne's got his Erebor Dwarves with King Thrain and Young Thorin. Jeb's taking Rivendell with Elrond and Glorfindel. At least that's what he's given me to help build. So hopefully he's taking it. Paul's done a really beautiful looking Ent army, I think, with a really super lovely display board. And I think Crispin's bringing Angmar Orcs? I had to ship off a Deadmar Spectre for him, so I'm hoping it's Angmar Orcs. Yeah, it's going to be a great weekend. I'm so excited. And as you can see, the board doesn't look too dissimilar from the initial expert sketch that I did. Side by side, like, here you go. I mean, you can see I'm not doing the 360 tower now. We've taken away the wall, and I think actually the new interpretation looks a lot better than my iffy little sketch on the back of a receipt. But yes, so I'm beyond excited. That inaugural drink at the Holiday Inn bar when we first get there, and then seeing everyone, I know Damien's coming down, and Lewis I think is going to be there, and seeing everyone that you see at these events, it just makes these events so much fun to go to. I cannot wait. I have been buzzing. I dropped something on the floor. I am buzzing. I cannot wait to get up there and see you guys and chat hobby and have 5 games? I think it's 5 games. I can't remember. 5 games of just awesome Lord of the Rings fun. And also, we had the preview from Games Workshop that the pre-orders for the new box set will be going live at the weekend we're in Nottingham. So I'm kind of hoping I can get myself a War of the Rohirrim pre-order in. That and the rulebook and the Rohan warriors and the great seagulls of Middle-earth, which is an interesting choice. But yeah, super excited to try and get my hands on those. I don't know. It's probably wishful thinking, hoping they're going to have early copies for us that are going up. But You never know. Thank you guys so much for joining me on my Throne of Skulls, my Road to Throne of Skulls vlog so far. I will keep you updated when we're on the road, and shenanigans that happen plenty. I was going to try and get a battle report out, a little test battle report out with Wayne before we got up there. That might still come out, I don't know. It's getting a little bit touch and go now, so whether or not we can get time to film it and time to edit it and release it before Friday. But if not, we can always do a cheeky little one when we get back, so you can see the armies in full swing. But yes, we'll see you guys at Throne of Skulls. Take care, and as always, happy hobbying. Bye guys.